What's poppin', guys? It's Podge gonna go back with another YouTube video, and this time we will be going over what would happen if the big bad of Shippuden, obviously being Kaguya, faced off against the big bad of the last, being Toneri. This topic is quite contentious due to the limited time Toneri is on screen, and to be quite honest, it's how his fight ends with Naruto, but we will go through that in a little bit. Starting off, we're going to have to scale Kaguya. Again, I know. But now when scaling Kaguya, this statement from Sasuke is necessary. The second he sees Kaguya, he makes a remark that her chakra is far greater than Madara's. Now, obviously, people's rebuttal to this, and I've gone over this in the past, would be, well, the more chakra doesn't mean she's stronger. But it's clearly in reference to chakra quality. Just like I said in my previous video, I offered an argument for that there. You guys can go watch it if you want to. The quality of a person's chakra is important because Fukasaku tells Naruto that the stronger your chakra is, the more boosted your stats are. Now, this is in reference to Sage Mode and the Sage Mode training, but he specifically says Sage Mode leads to a stronger chakra, and a stronger chakra leads to these upgrades in your statistics, so to speak. So Kaguya having superior chakra quality to Madara would also mean she is more powerful, faster, and more dangerous. And this is backed up by the fact that she kind of puts Naruto and Sasuke on their neck almost every interaction she has with them. So when it comes to Shippuden, Kaguya is for sure top dog. Naruto and Sasuke needed a lot of things to go right in order for her to be defeated, and due to everything going right, she was defeated. Now, I understand how this creates a tough spot for Toneri. Kaguya already receives bias due to her being the endgame villain of Shippuden, but her threat to the world was treated more important. Like, it really took the proverbial kitchen sink being thrown at her to actually defeat her, and Toneri, well, not so much. But let's discuss why this might not matter when determining who is more powerful. In order to gauge Toneri's powers, we have to start talking about Naruto. At the end of Shippuden, Naruto is a 17-year-old boy who has unlocked his 6 past powers that same day or the day prior. He's still a bit inexperienced, but due to his plentiful battles, he has gained some of that needed experience in order to overcome these threats. Now, after the war, there seems to be a bit of a misconception that Naruto just becomes weak, and as time goes on, he gets rusty and out of shape due to these statements here. Even if that were true, it wouldn't apply to the last Naruto, and here's why. In this scan, it's giving us background information on Naruto, Toneri, and Hinata. What's important is that Naruto's section, we get strong implications that his drive to become Hokage is continuously pushing him to new heights. He's also still training pretty frequently, as we see in these scenes, and in the novel, well, he's actively busy, and he's going on missions. There's no chance for him to actually get rusty. On top of that, he is able to obtain the other half of Kurama, which is a major addition to his already Otsutsuki-like chakra reserves. It's not hard to imagine why Naruto would be quite a bit stronger than his Shippuden self. There's one more thing I need to go over for Naruto before I get to Toneri, and it's the character design. People say Naruto can't be stronger than Kaguya, and Toneri can't be stronger than Kaguya if Naruto is only in Bijou Sage mode, and well, I honestly don't think that this is Bijou Sage mode. Throughout the movie, we see that there are inconsistencies with character designs as a whole. For example, Sasuke is able to turn his Rinnegan off. He's never been shown to do that before. We know that it isn't possible because it doesn't happen in like the canon material. Not saying that the last isn't canon, but you know, like this definitely isn't. Naruto also displays abilities that he was only able to use in 6 past Sage mode, such as flight. So all in all, I do believe that he is using that transformation, being 6 past Sage mode, during this Toneri fight. Now we can finally move on to Toneri and the statements we get from the promotional material and other sources. In this image, Toneri is called the strongest enemy. People try to say it's referring to him being the strongest enemy in the movie, but as the final villain of the movie, that's already something that's strongly implied by the narrative, so adding that would be kind of superfluous. In other promo materials, we have cases of him comparing his chakra to Kaguya's, and referring to him as the strongest enemy would go along those lines. On top of that, it makes sense that Toneri is stronger since he's able to hold relativity to a much more powerful Naruto in the war, so I believe this statement is valid and that, you know, and those feats back it up pretty well. Now, I know it's going to be the most popular comment using my precognition, but Naruto one-shotted Toneri. Since I've watched the movie, I'm obviously aware of this, but that doesn't really change the fact that Toneri was still relative. Unless if people would like to say that Naruto was holding back in the Moors before he did this, which is, well, very unlikely given the situation here. Toneri literally has Hinata held captive, and Naruto has also realized his love for Hinata, so him not trying to protect her with all he has would not only make zero sense logically, but it would also go against Naruto's values as a shinobi. Now that we've established this, we can address some debunks to Toneri. I made a video on my TikTok attempting to hear other people's opinions on this topic, and one of my mutuals, Fact Talker, offered a very solid rebuttal to Toneri being over Kaguya. He brought up the scan on the back of Boruto Volume 1, I believe, that states Kaguya was the greatest threat to the shinobi world, and obviously Toneri is before the time period that Boruto takes place in, so this would apply to him as well. The issue I have with this is that what measures a threat is dependent on who is defending against it and how powerful they are. A weaker Naruto and Sasuke are certainly more threatened by Kaguya than a much superior Naruto would be against Toneri. And since Naruto and Sasuke are the defenders of Earth, the shinobi world would be as threatened as they personally are. Also, Kaguya was much closer to reaching her goal, so it would make a lot of sense that her threat was more imminent and dangerous than Toneri's was. In the Kaguya fight, Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, Obito, and Sakura are the last line of defense, defending the world. Meanwhile, in Toneri's case, Sasuke is still on Earth, ready to defend it in case if Naruto has any complications, and we also have statements in the novels saying that Sasuke could be superior to Naruto. So either way, he has a fighter on Earth that is equal or above Naruto in terms of power. So Toneri really hadn't reached that last line of defense, whereas Kaguya most certainly did. I hope this makes sense, and I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that the term threat is relative to who's defending it. That's all. So, all in all, I think I'm going to give this battle to Toneri. Now, I understand why people would believe Kaguya to be more powerful, and I'll definitely hear arguments for it. But in my personal opinion, I think Toneri just scaling to a more powerful Naruto, and obviously his moon-splitting feat is really impressive too. I just think that his feats are just something that Kaguya hasn't really displayed, or hasn't really had the chance to display. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And have a great day.